Navya Gupta. She also has an Instagram cricket page known as Edged and Taken Cricket. To all our followers, do check it out. We'll post the link on our Instagram page as well. Hi Navya, we're going to be doing the preview for Punjab Kings and Chennai Super Kings. The two kings battling it out. What do you feel about that?
Hi, Udit. I mean, see, as a CSK fan, not really the best time to be a CSK fan, I guess.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the first time in all these seasons that we've lost both our opening games. So, really not, and it's not going our way. As far as Punjab Kings is considered, I mean, the first game they totally outplayed RCB. So that was a really good start for them in the tournament. But then the last game, they were totally outplayed by KKR. So they've had a very mixed start to the tournament. But I
But I
mean,
think
this,
that's Punjab. That's Punjab for you. They
yeah,
always
definitely.
have big starts.
Yeah, yeah. So they always have, but I feel they're still a stronger team as compared to CSK tonight. But I feel like if CSK can make those valid changes which are required, I think we can get over the line. And also the toss. I mean, it's at Brabant, right? So whoever wins the toss basically has most of the game in their hands. Yeah.
So yesterday was a bit different. I know the match was not at Brabant, but yesterday the two teams won batting first, which was a pleasant surprise from what we've been seeing till now. Ki win the toss, win the match, you chase. Yesterday that did not happen, and yes, you look like a worried fan. The top three teams who won IPL after 2015, Mumbai, Chennai, Sunrisers,
Yeah.
all without
At the
points so far.
yeah.
So, you spoke about Punjab, but I'll come to Chennai first. What is the issue with Chennai? कि गलत हो क्या रहा है मतलब do you think it's the bowlers issue? Last match Chennai scored a 210 score, could not defend it.
Yeah.
So is it bowlers not performing?
Yeah, definitely. I think the bowling is the major problem here, and we're definitely missing Deepak Chahar like anything. We need him back ASAP. I think
Yeah.
he's probably going to join us from 25th April, the match against Punjab that we have on 25th. I think he's probably joining us there, and we're having a lot of injuries. So, like Adam Milne got injured, and now Chris Jordan also apparently has some sort of an infection in his throat or something. So, he's not available for tonight's game, I think. So, I mean, a lot of things not going our way. And Rituraj Gaikwad, I mean, he's not fired yet, still, yet to score big. So, small issues with the batting, not really that much at the moment because Uthappa's going well. Dhoni is in good touch. That's a very big positive. So, I think the batting is not much of a problem yet. It's basically the bowling and definitely the death bowling because we're too dependent on Bravo. I mean, how long
Yes.
can we stay dependent on Bravo? How long is he going to stay in the team? How long is enough
Before the
to keep
auction,
saving
people
us?
were saying, "Why are you even buying Bravo?" And now he's
Yeah,
become the highest wicket taker, performing for them. So yes,
yeah,
some dependence on them. A fan question for you, Adi is asking, "Can we see Hunger Kaker today? He bowls raw
yeah,
pace 145, 150 plus. Can we see him play today in place of let's say Mukesh Chaudhary or
yeah.
Tushar Deshpande?"
Definitely, I think we need to see him ASAP because I mean we can't really remove Shivan Dubey yet because he did well with the bat in the last game. Can't
Yeah.
really blame him for the one over that he bowled out of nowhere. So that I think that'll be unfair to judge him from just one over. But still, yeah, I think definitely we need to have him. I felt like he's going to play for us from game one, considering the amount of spotlight that was there on him and the amount of practice games that he was playing. I felt like Dhoni, I mean, now Jadeja would use him from the first game itself. But I guess it's time to bring him in. I mean, CSK are not really known for changes, but we've seen they made three changes right in the second game. So they need to go back to
And
the
coming to
CSK that they were.
the changes were very, as you said, CSK ऐसे जल्दी निकालता नहीं है किसी को.
Yeah,
First match, three New Zealanders were playing. Adam
yeah,
Milne, Conway, Santner. Next match, all three New Zealand overseas player out.
yeah.
Was this a surprise? मतलब dropping Conway after one game, I was very surprised with that.
Yeah, I mean, same. I thought they had got Conway, in a way to replace Faf, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they want him as the like for like replacement for Faf, and I think one game is not enough. I mean, that's not CSK. That's not what CSK does usually. They need to give him enough time to prove himself. Definitely, he's a good batter. He's done well for New Zealand, so I think he'll do well for us also. It's just it's that we need to give him enough time to prove himself. I think we can bring him in and maybe like Uthappa did well, he's opening, but I feel like Uthappa can be, played a little later and maybe give Conway enough chances to prove himself at the top. Yeah.
And I think Conway should be given more chances. People were equating him with Michael Hussey, replacement of Faf, and dropping him after one game was very surprising. At least Vansha just giving you some motivation that CSK will actually begin their winning streak today. He's actually mentioning his four overseas players as well. Moin Ali, Bravo, the first two, I think, are starting. Pretorius, after large match, I think the team was happy with his bowling performance. Could not score with the bat. It was his first match in the IPL. And he's
Yeah.
wants to get the Sri Lankan spinner Theekshana in. Because we highlighted this earlier, Jadeja, Moin Ali are not frontline spinners. You can't expect 8 overs every match from them. And in the absence of Deepak Chair, that bowling is costing them. So do you think Conway will miss out and Theekshana, the Sri Lankan spinner, the mystery spinner, will come in?
Yeah, I guess they can bring him in, but then I mean, yeah, like they played three overseas last game, and today also I feel Adam Milne obviously is not there, and Chris Jordan also unlikely to be there. So I think Tikshana can come in, and yeah, I think they would like to continue with the Thappa at the top again and keep Conway out, and Tikshana can probably replace, yeah, like Vansha was just saying, Tikshana replaces Mukesh and Rajwardhan comes into Tushar. I think that that's a really, good suggestion because I think Rajwardhan is going to really help us with the bat as well. And of
Yeah.
course, he has the pace. I feel he can, he can be groomed to bowl the later overs of the game. Yeah.
Definitely, Adi again being very positive. We'll come back stronger. We'll do. He's also talking about we'll go to winning ways again, ma'am. Adi, thank you for streaming in. Do subscribe to Sports Stars as well, and hopefully Chennai can win today's match. So Navya, we've discussed about frontline spinners, opening bowlers being an issue. Are you happy with the batting so far? With what's happening?
See, ideally, I'd like to see Rituraj Gaikwad stepping up from game one,
Yeah.
considering what he did for us last year. And he was also the orange cap holder. So, I mean, he does have the confidence to play in the IPL. But
He got run
again,
out last match. You can't blame him
yeah,
entirely. But yes.
yeah, I mean, but still, in the first game also a third ball duck. I mean, that's now not how you would like to start off a season, right? So I think ideally I would want him to step up in this game. And other than that, I feel, see, not everyone can perform in every game, and it's only been two games yet. Dhoni has performed well, Uthappa is performing well. Even in the first game, he did not score many runs, but the intent could be seen, and his shots were really clean. He was not looking rusty, unlike Raidu, who looked a little rusty and unsure of what shots he was playing. So Thappa is doing well for us. Dhoni is doing well for us. Hopefully Raidu is going to come on track as well, and I really hope Gaikwad gets going because we were highly dependent on Gaikwad last season. We were
Yeah.
literally riding on his innings for most games. So if he can step up for us, I think maybe the bowling can be covered up with the way we bat. I mean, 210 is a good score. It's a very good score to defend, and we were still unable to defend that. So I think maybe what we need to do before we get our bowling right, I think our batting needs to be really good. It's fine. I mean, the first game wasn't good enough, but at least Dhoni stood up and he got his 50. The thing is, Dhoni is really important for the team, right? So, I mean, it's good. The batting is definitely not the major problem here. The main problem lies in the bowling for now. Yeah.
I completely agree. Bowling is pulling CSK down, and Adi Pandya is saying that Ritu is a slow starter. He scored similarly in the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
But Adi, what we would want to say is last season, Chennai's openers, Faf and Ruturaj scored 46-47% of the overall runs that season. So, yes,
Yeah.
that lot is very important for them. Vanshad is again saying that Theekshana is a great addition. He can get Shikhar, Bhanuka, Rajapaksa out as their lefties. And we've seen CSK relies heavily on matchups. Jadeja doesn't bowl if a lefty is batting. So yes, they probably need a mystery spinner, and they have upfront lefties at the top, so that is needed. And yes, Ritu's had those 2-3 bad matches every season. It's just that when the team also loses, those bad results or your bad matches or low scores, that has a huge impact. Vanshal is also a huge CSK fan. He's seeing orange cap buffering. So very, very positive sentiment. Navya, I'll ask you one very controversial question which happened after last match, and I'm not coming to
Yeah.
Shivam Dubey. It's more on who is calling the shots. So I
Yeah.
know Dhoni did give up captaincy,
Yeah.
but is it right if he's still calling? We could see that you don't
Yeah.
fans point or anyone who watched the IPL for 15 minutes knew that Jadeja was not the on-field captain.
Yeah.
When you've given the captaincy to Jadeja, what impact does it have when everyone in the team, the opponent team, knows that you're not calling the shots?
See, I mean, very honestly, before Jadeja got this captaincy, I had not really seen him contributing, on the field in terms of decision making in other matches. He seems to be like because he's batting, he's bowling, he's fielding. So I always feel like he already has a lot to do, And usually we had not seen him really going up to Dhoni and oh, we could do this or we could do that. So now when he's become the captain, I feel he's a bit he's a bit lost at times. And especially if you have a captain like Dhoni in the side who was the captain of the team before, definitely he's going to contribute, and you would go up to him and ask for suggestions and cross check your strategies with him. So I feel like in terms of who's calling the shots, I feel it's 60-40. So it's Dhoni say what works
Oh, you
more
giving
for now.
Jadeja 40? I'm very surprised with that because
See, because
anyone,
no,
and it's not
yeah,
that Dhoni cannot transition. If you saw in the Indian cricket team,
yeah, yeah,
Dhoni did
exactly,
transition to Virat Kohli. It was a smooth transition before the 2019 World Cup as well.
yeah,
But and Dhoni has given up the captaincy himself. It's a voluntary, what we've at least
yeah,
got to know. Then why is it still an issue? मतलब जब खुद कोई captaincy छोड़ रहा है,
huh.
then you need to step out. And it's just
See,
the start of the season. Matlab, it's not a very
yeah,
crucial match. So Jadeja needs to be given that autonomy, that ownership to actually call the shots himself.
yeah, but I feel like he seems to be a bit, inexperienced and maybe overwhelmed with what else are happening. Because I mean, the first game did not go well, so that was not a good start for him as a captain. So if our bowling was not good, our batting was also average in that game. It was just Dhoni and Uthappa who showed up, and Jadeja himself is not, going really well with the bat. So I think there's a lot of pressure on him in terms of that. I think they need to, sit down and clear out their plans again and divide roles accordingly. Because Jadeja, as a team member, would definitely walk up to Dhoni and, ask him certain doubts or clear certain things with him. So, and in terms of fielding placement as well, because that's what happened with the Indian team as well, right? When he was there, so he
Yep.
was definitely helping Kohli out with whatever had to be done. But most of the things were what Kohli wanted to do. But here, I feel it's a mix of both the things happening, but maybe even now Dhoni has the more part of the say. So I think they need to clear that out, and maybe Jadeja needs to work on his bowling changes as well. And I think they need to be the old CSK that they were, make as less changes as they can, and not really hassle about what's happening and try to stay calm. I think that's what they need to do right now. Think straight, think clear, because they have around 12 more games to go. So I think there's enough time. It's okay. We lost the first two games, but
Yep.
they need to stay calm and get their things right. Yeah.
And relatively, if you see, CSK is still in an easier group. जैसे जो grouping हुई है, the teams that you play
Huh.
twice,
Right.
you are in an easier group. And Adi is saying that we'll see the transition surely but slowly. So
Yeah.
what I feel is कि दो losses हुए हैं, इसलिए all this is being highlighted as well. If these were two wins, the talk wouldn't have been so much on who's
Yeah.
calling the shots.
Definitely.
But whenever the outcome doesn't go in your favor, the process is always doubted, which is happening here. So Vansh is also saying that Robbie will take over Faf's responsibility to be the aggressor in the power play. He's talking about Dhoni's batting position. So now we've seen one thing is clear: Jadeja is always batting above Dhoni, and but Dhoni is doing well with the bat. So I don't
Yeah.
think Dhoni's batting or his position is a concern as of now. It's only the bowling that is a concern.
Yeah.
We also saw Bravo having a larger role in deciding or helping the bowler. So I think
Yeah.
Jadeja needs to step up. As you rightly pointed, another issue can be that he fields at the boundary.
Yeah.
So a captain, if he is not in the 30-yard circle, that's always an issue.
Yeah,
So
but I
yes,
think in terms of field placement, he's clever to place himself in the hotspots. I mean, generally that's what other captains also do with him. They make
yeah.
sure that our best
And I think
players
he's
are
the
in the
best
spot.
fielder that India has.
Yeah,
So he should definitely
definitely.
be, yeah.
Yeah, so I think he's clever enough himself also to place himself in those hotspots, because last game also, I think two really important catches, he was there in those hotspots and he took them. So I think that's a commendable thing in terms of field placement. But other than that, yeah, the bowling, I think that's really the major issue at the moment. Yeah.
Definitely, and you can expect Punjab to be stronger today. I think Odean Smith has
Yeah.
not been performing. They'll get Johnny Bairstow, which would be a huge
Yeah.
addition. I wouldn't personally drop Rajapaksa because he's been performing well for them.
Yeah.
So probably Odean Smith misses out. They get Johnny Bairstow. And
Yeah.
what do you think about this? Who's going to miss out for Punjab if Bairstow comes in?
See, I think because even though Odin Smith was expensive in the first game, he was indeed their man of the match in the first game. So maybe they could keep him in and maybe drop Liam Livingston and bring in
They
Bairstow.
paid a 10-12 crore money for him. I don't
I
think
know.
Livingston is getting dropped.
Yeah, but the thing is, in terms of performance, I'd rather keep Rajapaksa in the team than keep Liam Livingstone, according to the two games that have happened. So I'd play Bairstow at 3, keep Rajapaksa at 4, And like instead of Liam Livingstone at four, I'd keep Rajapaksa at four. Yeah.
Only issue with that is Rajapaksa bears to both keepers,
Yeah.
and Livingston can give you those 1-2 off spin as well as leg spin overs. So that's why I feel Livingston will not be dropped, because if that can be an issue, but I agree,
Yeah.
Livingston, he's not justified his price tag so far,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that's certainly an issue. Adi is talking about Chennai's playing 11. Do you agree with this? He is going ahead, and we're not talking about the position. Maybe he's put MS at 4, Raidu, Jaddu down the order, but he wants Rajvardhan in, he wants Theekshana in. So Chennai
Yeah.
only had 3 overseas last time. They have that capability to include another overseas player.
Yeah.
Are you happy with this playing 11?
Yeah, I think it's pretty much what's required because I think for some reason I believe Rajvardhan could be a much better option than Mukesh because last game,
Another, we've already got 1 point because
yeah.
he didn't have Dubey in that playing 11.
Oh yeah, right.
So where do you fit Dubey in and who gets dropped?
See, I feel like Dubey stays, and instead of Tushar and like both Tushar and Mukesh can be out, and Rajvardhan and Tikshana come in. I think that's a better option because Tushar hasn't gone well in either of the two games that he's played. I know they are quite inexperienced on the level of the IPL and they haven't played for India yet and all of that. But I mean, as a bowler, you should do what you're supposed to do, and I think death bowling is not something either of them are really strong at. They're going expensive more than 10. Their economy is more than 10, so I guess Rajvardhan should be a better option. And yes, Tikshana definitely because we had three
Yes,
overs players
definitely,
last
and I
time.
feel Rajvardhan will be a better option. And
Yeah.
since definitely, so now we have probably some signal issue. You can continue. Yes.
Yeah, that's why I was agreeing with this 11 that Dubey stays and Rajvardhan and Tikshana come in for Tushar and Mukesh. But again, the thing is because the mindset of the management is such that they don't really make too many changes. And now then
Yeah.
they made three changes in the last game, and then if they make the two changes again this time, I think it's quite unsettling for them because they're not used to being like that. Because when a player walks into a CSK squad, when they're a part of a CSK squad, they know that if they're gonna be bagged, they're gonna be bagged like anything. So, I mean, it's a little unsettling for the players and the management also, but I feel that's what's necessary right now. If they can stick with Rajvardhan and Tikshana for now, see how it goes, maybe continue like that for the next 2-3 games and see where it takes them. Because it's
Definitely,
very
and the
unlike
playing
them
11
to
that
make too
I
many
can
changes.
see on screen, I am particularly happy with that. And I think you also want Dubey to continue. So,
Yeah,
and this incorporates the two changes that you mentioned, which is removing Mukesh and Tushar and getting in Theekshana and Rajvardhan.
yeah,
So, Vanchar, I think both of us also agree with the playing 11 that you've mentioned. Today's match is at Brabant. It'll be a high scoring thriller, and hopefully, Chennai is the true king at the end of it. There can
yeah,
only be one king. So,
yeah,
thank you, Navya. Thank you for tuning in. And
yeah,
Vanshan is also talking about Punjab's playing 11, so that's an interesting call. He has also taken your opinion and put
yeah,
Livingston or Bairstow, only one of the English players. And he is still continuing with Raj Bawa, so that can be a bit of a
yeah,
concern. I don't know if Punjab wants to continue. They have Rishi Dhawan as well
yeah,
waiting. So I would personally bring in Rishi Dhawan because अगर ऑडियंस में तुम्हें ड्रॉप करता हूँ आई गेट बेयरस्टो ऋषि धवन कैन cover up for the overs and he can bat as well. He was
yeah,
in very good form for Himachal. But Shah Rukh Khan surely needs to step up. There's been a lot
yeah,
of talk about him, about the finisher role. He needs to step up. And Rahul Chair, I feel, is in his prime form, right? So let's see how
yeah,
it goes.
doing
Thank
really
you
well.
to all our viewers for tuning in. Do subscribe to Sports Taza. Thank you for your live comments. Thank you, Navya, for doing this. I hope you
Thank you so
enjoyed and
much. Thanks
hopefully
for having me.
we can do more videos
Yeah,
together. Definitely. And
sure.
just before we go, CSK fan for years, we'll only see one change in Rajvardhan for either of the Indian pacers. He's still thinking
Yeah,
that Theekshana will still miss out, and Vanshan is still rating Benny Howell, the 100 English player who was very famous. He has probably 50
yeah,
variations in his bowling for Odian Smith. So yes, let's see what happens, Vanshaj. But I think Bairstow will surely be back, and we'll
yeah,
cheer for
definitely.
CSK tonight. Thank you, Navya.
Great. Thank you.